Hi YouTube, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. Welcome to 2024. It is the first YouTube of the year, and I thought I'm gonna do a start to finish video. You guys seem to like those. I think you do. So we're just gonna go start to finish with a project. And it's a piece of furniture that has been upstairs in my living room for going on 2 years, and I'm embarrassed. I haven't even refinished it. I said this in a video short that I did the other day concerning this piece. I find like a lot of us in our professions, whether you're, let's just say you're a mechanic and you don't drive the best vehicle, it isn't the latest and the greatest, or you're a doctor or a nurse and you haven't gotten a checkup and I don't know when. I think sometimes we ignore the one thing that we're like good at. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed I haven't touched this piece because it has such great potential. So we're gonna get right over into my workshop and I'm gonna show you what piece I'm talking about. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna show you the piece behind me. Just to let you know, it's been in my entryway under a plant. And I'm gonna admit this, to you. I have watered my plant several times, and several times my plant has like peed, you know, when the water goes right through the plant, onto the top of this piece of furniture. And I've quickly wiped it up, but there are some little watermarks on the top. Shame, shame to me. Gosh, I know better. I know better. See what I'm talking about? I know better and I'm doing it. So I'm embarrassed. There, I admitted it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna make this piece beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this piece. I might sell it. I mean, it's a gorgeous piece. It's a classic piece. Look at this. It's a Chippendale style. I'm gonna call it, I mean, is it a desk? It could be a desk. I don't know if you could fit a chair there. Definitely maybe like a small table, but it's gorgeous. The details, the carvings on these legs, the rope style trim here all along this table is just immaculate. I love the claw ball feet. If I were to date this piece, you know, by the hardware, we have the square nuts on the back of these handles. So I'm gonna say this might be like 1930s. I'm not sure. It might be earlier. We got classic dovetail joinery. We even have the dovetail joinery on the back of this piece. So give me a second here. Can I lift this? Yeah, she's definitely got some weight. Mahogany wood, gorgeous, heavy, sturdy, solid mahogany wood. We have the dovetail even back here. I'm gonna have to do some research. I mean, if I were to just take an estimate at the date, that's what I'm estimating it to be. I mean, this style was very popular in the late 1700s. This intricate, like, motif type carvings, neoclassical, was very, very popular in the late 1700s. I know this piece is not from the late 1700s, but it has that Chippendale style. The one thing I don't like, and this is just me, but I don't like this hardware. It's very popular on some of these older pieces, not my style. So I'm going to probably replace the hardware. And my vision, what's my vision for this piece? I'm going back and forth. Obviously, if you follow me here on my channel, you know I'm big into highlighting and saving and preserving natural wood on a piece of furniture. If you just watched me recently, yeah, I'm gonna toot my horn here a little bit. I recently was on Pawn Stars Do America, and they had me refinish an antique vanity, and I received the nicest compliment not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, on my YouTube channel here. I'm gonna put it up here. This woman watched the show, and they heard what I was gonna do to this vanity of like, oh, I'm gonna glam it up, I'm gonna refinish it, I'm gonna make it modern. And this woman said, she turned to her husband and they both were like, oh no, she's gonna ruin this piece. And she wrote me a comment to say that she was pleasantly surprised at what I did to that vanity. And here's a picture of that vanity. I'm gonna throw it up here, what I did on the show. So I'm thinking something along those lines is what I'd like to do to this piece. This piece is very dark, and it's just, the beauty is just, we're losing it in the darkness, and I wanna bring that out. So my vision is I would like to sand the top, sand the drawers, stain them, get a nice high gloss poly on them, get the wood to really, really be center stage. Probably paint the shell of this table. I'm not sure on the color. Part of me wants to do jet black. Part of me wants to do a blue like I did on that vanity, like a royal blue. Really make this piece just be elegant and just like you stop and stare. If you walked in a room, this piece would make you just stop in your tracks and go, whoa. I want to do gold handles, something to replace these. I don't want to go too modern, but I want it to look like it was a part of the piece from the beginning. And you know what, maybe in I have a stash of old hardware. Maybe I could find something truly authentically like antique to put on this piece that would just, I don't know, match better in my opinion. So I'm gonna look through my stash and see if I can find something that'll work. And then I would like to do what I did like on that vanity again that I did for the show. I'm gonna use some gold gilding wax on these areas where we have this intricate carvings. Because again, that gets lost as well, especially on these gorgeous, sexy legs. We gotta highlight these, we gotta show them off. So that is my plan with this piece. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna take the hardware off and we're gonna get to cleaning this up and I'm gonna start to sand her. So I'm very excited. So come along with me as we refinish this piece. Okay, I took off one of the handles. Oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, figures. I wanted to show you something. Now, I couldn't take a screwdriver to get these handles off. They are just attached in the back with these. When I say like these square nuts, this is what I want you to see. So this is what that looks like. And when I took those off, I wanted to check and see if these were solid brass. Solid brass is non-magnetic. So I always have a magnet in my workshop, non-magnetic. But let's try the nuts. Oh, magnetic. So these are not brass, but these handles are. So I'm going to see what I can match up in my hoarder stash of antique hardware. But I'm gonna need 1, 2. This is just covering a keyhole. I think I have another antique keyhole that I can replace with that one. I need 4 handles. I think I should be able to find that in my stash. I wanted to point out, I like to point out when I'm redoing furniture on these videos, what type of damage any piece of furniture has that I'm working on. So shame on me, again, I admit it. Water spots here from when I watered my plant. I can easily get those out, but I did notice on the side, we have a pretty substantial crack on the side of this piece right here. So, you know, wood gets old, it gets dried out, depends on what type of environment this piece was kept in, what it was exposed to, extreme temperatures, and just the mere age. So it cracked here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that with Bondo. Anytime I have a sizable crack or damage, I like to use Bondo over wood putty. Wood putty has its time and its place for little nicks and stuff like that out of veneer or the top of a piece. But when it comes to a substantial crack like that, I like to fill it with putty, or I'm sorry, I like to fill it with Bondo. And then if I was going to keep the wood natural, I would try to take like wood graining pencils and some wood dyes and try to match up with the original color. But since I'm most likely going to be painting the shell of this piece, I don't need to worry about that step, and then I'll just paint over the Bondo. Okay, you guys, let's get back to this project. That's more like I'm self-talking myself, like, come on, let's get back to this project. I took like a week doing other things. I'm in the process of getting my real estate license. I'm taking classes right now. So I bebop between doing that, taking care of family. We're doing things at a cabin up in Maine right now. Just got a cabin. So it was the second time that we were up there for the weekend, and we're repainting walls and trying to do furniture. There's a lot going on right now, and it's freezing in New Hampshire. So where I'm at with this piece, I just sanded the top tonight. I used 120 grit, and let me tell you, this old finish came off so easily, and I love when that happens, when it just comes off. Oh, I was like, oh, if all sanding jobs could be this easily. I'll probably put the clip in of me sanding the top of this dresser because it went insanely fast. So I used 120 grit. This is my FESTOOL orbital sander. This is my larger of the two that I have. This, I believe, is 5 inches in width. I love this thing. It is the ETS EC150. Those are the numbers and letters there. They give them weird names. I don't know why they don't call this one like the Big Daddy. You know what I mean? Make it simple. Or the Big Mama, whatever. I have it hooked up to my dust extractor over here. That's also by FESTOOL. If you have been following me here for a while now on YouTube, you know that I used to have my orbital sander hooked up to my old shop vac. Then a couple years ago, I upgraded to an awesome FESTOOL dust extractor, and this thing is invaluable to me. There she is right down there. It enables me to sand indoors, and it makes my job so much easier, and I can run my business more efficiently. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do, I told you I have a big crack on the other side of this piece, and then I noticed earlier today, I flipped it over and I noticed one of the legs was a little wonky, and there's a split in it, so I'm gonna have to address that as well. So let me get this on its side here. Okay, oh, right over here, there's just like a fracture in this little area here. See how the leg is just moving just a little bit? You know what? Let me tell you something. I know I chat a lot, and I have people tell me, you know, you chat a lot on your channel. And I'm like, you know what? I grew up in the Midwest, in Minnesota. We're chatty people. So if you don't like my chattiness, you can always fast forward. But let me tell you something. I just said the word leg twice, and my boyfriend and my daughter make fun of me so much because I have words that they swear I pronounce differently, and they make fun of me. So egg, they make fun of me, and leg. They say, you hold it out too long. It's leg. They always say that. Oh, she said leg. And I'm like, no, leg. So do you hear it? I don't know. So now when I say a word that they make fun of me for saying, I hear them making fun of me. I'm trying to see here on these legs, there aren't any screws that hold the leg into the body of this piece of furniture. So I might have to add one just to stabilize. This one is attached, it's like a loose tooth. This one's solid. This one's slightly, you know, this is where in projects where I just go, you know what? I would rather stabilize something more than it needs to be than to have something break off when these pieces are old like this. And I do my best when I do repairs to not make them look noticeable. Like, I'm not gonna use a modern, bright silver screw and put it in there. What I try to do is, I have so much antique hardware, I'll try and find an antique screw that I can get in here and camouflage it a bit, but make sure these legs are stabilized because they are, you know, they're very slender, and I want to make sure this piece, whoever gets this lucky piece, has a solid piece of furniture. So I have a fracture here, goes all the way across on the top. I'm going to use BONDO, and I love using BONDO. Sometimes when I have little pieces of veneer missing, or part of like the corner of a drawer, it all depends. The smaller it is, I'll usually use just wood putty. Getting the mop up there, you guys. Here we go, here we go. But when it's a larger crack like this, and I really want to stabilize it and make sure that my repair is gonna stick, I like using BONDO. Here she is. And I usually get this usually at Lowe's. I know you can get it at Walmart, you can get it on Amazon, but let me tell you, the price has gone up. I was shocked, painfully shocked, at Lowe's the other day. I can't believe this was like $27. It has never been that high. I believe it used to be like 15 bucks, but I do use it quite often, and I gotta have it. I gotta have it in the workshop. Not happy about it. Like a lot of other things with supplies and things like that. It's just gone up. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit out. It's gray, it's very stinky. Normally, yes, I'd be putting a mask on. I'm kind of bypassing that at the moment. It's late at night, almost 11 o'clock, and I'm trying to get this done and let it sit overnight. You put this hardener with it. You have a small working period with this stuff. Here it is. It's blue. You just mix it in there with the gray. Get it all mixed. It's gonna turn like a lighter blue, so you can actually see the hardener cream mixing in with the Bondo here. And I use cheap paper plates and cheap wooden sticks that I get at the dollar store. So I try to keep my overhead and my materials costs as low as possible, especially when I have surprises like Bondo jumping up to $27. And hopefully you're gonna be able to see it, maybe not, but I will do a close-up. It's like spreading frosting on a cake when you're using Bondo. And what you'll do after this hardens, you have just a little, like a working period with this, because it really starts to get unmanageable. And what I mean by that, it starts to harden and you won't be able to spread it as easily. So you've gotta work quickly with Bondo. It does give off an odor. Usually when I'm doing Bondo repairs, I do it at night. That way I'm not in the basement working around it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's freezing down here. It is so cold right now. I have a little heater going right now. In New Hampshire, I think we have a very, very cold week on tap right now. We had a lot of flooding too. Did you guys see all that? Oh my gosh, the seacoast, we got nailed. High tide, I think it was like 14 feet coming over. Awful. A lot of damage down in the seacoast in New Hampshire. A lot of flooding and damage in Maine. And then I'm just scraping the excess off here. And then what I'll do is I will sand it tomorrow. Like I said, it's just a little bit of it. I call it like a fracture line going on here. And I want to stabilize it. And then whatever I'm going to do here to the side, I don't know yet what I'm doing to this piece. A lot of the times, you guys, when I'm refinishing furniture, sometimes I have a vision, but a lot of times, as weird and kooky as this may sound, I let the piece kind of speak to me. It's weird sounding, but once I get started being creative, sometimes I know going in, oh, I want to paint this piece black. Sometimes I want to do this or that. This one in particular, I'm not sure. Depending on how this repair goes on the side, I'm definitely sanding the top, the drawer fronts, keeping those natural and highlighting the natural wood. I'm all about that. The rest of it, I might paint. I might do a two-tone look. What I'm going to do right now, where this fracture is on this leg, sorry for that noise. I'm going to slap some right in here. When I say slap, I just kind of mean just get it in there where I see another crack. And then I'll sand the excess off. But I just want to, Bondo is awesome. It is so strong. When I do like molds, like if this part of this foot was missing, I would never use wood putty. Wood putty has its time and place in certain repairs. Wood putty can shrink. Wood putty can sometimes crumble under pressure. Bondo, I find, if you want a solid repair medium, I love epoxy and I love Bondo here. So, all right. And you know what? I might just clamp that just to pull it in just a hair. So I'll do close-ups where you guys can see what I exactly did here. Take a peeky. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm gonna give you a close-up shot of what I repaired here. So do you know what I decided to do? Instead of screwing screws into these legs, I decided to stabilize them with my nail gun. I got some awesome, super long nails here. Let me show you how long these are. And I was just able to quickly stabilize that wonky leg there with extra Bondo on it. So now no movement at all. It's not loose at all. So when you are refinishing furniture, and if you are just starting out with doing this, do all your repairs and all your clamping and all that stuff before you start to get creative and paint, and I call it like doing the fun stuff. Repairing is so vital. I mean, why take the time and the energy and the finances to buy good paint and fun furniture transfers and all that jazz when you don't repair the piece of furniture, especially the legs. You need them to be solid on a piece of furniture. Okay, here's what the repair looks on the leg. I'm gonna keep saying it that way. On the leg, you can see here, there's just a little bit of a fracture. Where's my finger? Here it is, there it is, right there. So I was able to do that, and I was able to stabilize it. See, it's not wonky anymore with my nail gun. I think I went a little haywire here with my Bondo on this crack, but I wanted to make sure I built it up enough so when I sand it, it will be flush with the rest of the side here. So we're gonna let that dry overnight. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna read a few chapters in my real estate book, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna sand the sides, and we're gonna start, I think I'm gonna paint it. I think I'm gonna paint part of this piece, and then I'm going to stain the rest of it. So I think that's my vision. We'll see. You guys are gonna come along with me with my creative journey on this piece. So have a good night, stay warm. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, in this next time-lapse video, you're going to see me sand the excess Bondo off, that crack that I repaired earlier. And then next, you're gonna see me take a 150 grit sandpaper wrapped around a felt block. There you can see all the old finish coming off. I am simply just hand sanding around all those ornate areas. I'm giving it a really good scuff sand. I want my paint to adhere to the surface, and I know I can't get every little bit of that finish off, and that's okay. I just want to give it the best scuff sand I can. Okay guys, I am ready to paint this piece. I'm really excited. This is the color that I'm using. It's called Inkwell. It is Wise Owl's 1 hour enamel paint. It's a really pretty blue. Here's a close-up of it. It's not really like, I wouldn't say it's a dark navy. It's not a royal blue. It is a really pretty soft blue with a little bit of like a gray undertone to it. So I'm gonna reposition my camera here. You guys are gonna get a close-up shot of me starting to apply this paint. You see this nice glow here coming up? That is my little portable heater because it is cold here in New Hampshire right now. That is why I got my hat on. I got my nice Carhartt bib overalls. And we're gonna get this positioned and we're gonna start painting this lovely piece and adding just a touch of modern flair. Sometimes I get a lot of flack from people for painting pieces of furniture, but what a lot of people don't understand is number one, I would never paint a piece of furniture that is from a furniture maker that's highly regarded, where it would be considered like an absolute sin for me to throw paint on a piece of furniture like that, or a piece of furniture that's like in pristine condition. So a lot of the pieces that I work with are damaged. I get them free. I find them at thrift stores. They need some love. And it's also the marketability of them as well. So a lot of these pieces will sit and sit and sit if, you know, I don't add some modern touches to it. That way I'm able to give a piece some new life and it's able to be enjoyed by somebody else. So sometimes people come at me and they're like, oh, I can't believe you painted that piece of furniture. But I think I'm doing the piece of furniture a good thing, a good service, that I'm able to bring some new life to it. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna paint the roping here. And I don't tape off, this is me, I don't tape off where I'm gonna have to sand again because it's gonna need one final sand on the top. So if I get a little paint on the edges, no biggie, no big whoop. So we're gonna start there with the roping up on top. I do wanna paint the, OMG. That went right on the top. There you go. There you go. We're gonna just roll with it. This happens. We will just roll with it. I am painting using cling-on brushes. Love these brushes. I think I have 8 of them now. This one is the F30. It's the smaller of their flat brushes. I don't know if you guys are picking this up, the color. So I might quickly reposition myself so you guys can see this gorgeous blue color going on. I'm gonna get close up. We're gonna get my mug out of it. Here we go, that's much better. As my daughter would say when she was younger, that's more better. It's more better. All right, where can I go next where you guys can get a good shot of this? We're gonna go here. So usually with Wise Owl's 1 hour enamel paint, I have to do 2 coats. Usually that's enough, which is nice. So you get really good coverage with this paint. There's a built-in top coat, so after I'm done painting, I do not have to wax it. I don't have to put a water-based top coat. I don't have to do anything. It's already got a built-in top coat. So this is a highly durable paint. So if you're looking for either if you're looking for like convenience of time, just want to paint and don't want to have to put a top coat on, this is a good choice for you. And then if you have a high traffic piece, like a kitchen table or coffee table, I would suggest this paint. And then for those of you, and I have not embarked on this, would like to at some point, repainting your kitchen cabinets, this is an like highly advisable line of paint to use on something like that. So this is the color Inkwell. This is the paint color that I used to refinish the Antique Vanity when I did the show Pawn Stars Do America, and Chumley especially really loved this color. They were nervous at first when I said, yeah, I want to do blue. And then I think they were envisioning like a blue, blue, blue. And when they saw this color, they all were very pleasantly surprised how nice it went and paired with that vanity. All right, so there you guys go. You can get a look-see of the color that I'm painting. When I'm done putting the 2 coats on, I'm going to put some gold gilding wax along where these ornate scrolls are, and especially on the legs here and on the ball feet. I will also be adding some gold gilding wax. So I'm gonna continue to paint and we'll come back after I've got the 2 coats on. Here is a close-up of the gold gilding wax that I use. This little container, I'm telling you, it'll last me an entire year. Every product that I'm talking about in this video, I will list it under the video description in case you're interested in ordering things. Okay, I am done. I mean, look at my bouffant on my head. It doesn't even fit in. It's like, boink. This is what we do on day 3 of not washing my hair. I go like every other day or every 2 days. So it goes up in a little bouffant. I am done applying the gold gilding wax. Let me tell you, this baby is looking, she's looking magnificent. That's a great word for this piece. She's very regal looking now. So the gold gilding wax is applied. I have done my final sand on the top and on the drawer fronts. Now you're gonna see me in a time-lapse video apply this product. This is called Seal Coat. It's by Zinsser. It's a de-wax shellac. And while I'm doing the time-lapse, I'm gonna narrate over it why I use this product and how I apply it. Oh, quick tip on all your products. Let's just say shellac, top coats, and even paint. This is what I do, I've learned over the years. Put the date that you brought it home. Put it on the top of the lid. That's how you know how old the product is, how fast you're going through it. And I just have found this has worked wonders for me, not guessing how old a product is and how fast I'm going through it. Okay guys, I changed direction with this piece. This is very common for me. I start going with refinishing a piece of furniture and then I change course. So I was going to apply a de-wax shellac and then just poly on the top of this piece and along with the drawer fronts. But at the last minute here, the more I look at this piece, the more it's telling me, I want to be staying darker, please. I want to look rich. So I'm changing the course just a little bit. So first, what you're going to see me do here, I have sanded the top. It's ready to go. I'm going to be applying a pre-wood conditioner that is specific for oil-based stains. So I'm going to be doing that first, okay? So we're going to do the pre-wood conditioner.
Then I'm gonna apply the oil-based Java stain. My furnace just kicked in. That'll be the second one, the stain. After the stain, I'll do the de-wax shellac. That's the seal coat. Okay, that's the third one. And then the fourth one, I'll be doing the poly top coat. So I'll be on a time lapse doing each of these steps. And during that time lapse, you're gonna hear me narrate, and I'm gonna talk about each product that I just described in detail, the whys. Why am I applying them? And why am I applying them in that certain order? I'm applying an oil-based wood conditioner. What this will do, it'll ensure that my stain will be absorbed evenly throughout my wood, so it won't be blotchy. Wood conditioners come in oil-based or water-based. After my wood conditioner has dried, I usually give it about 20 minutes, then I can go ahead and apply my stain. This stain color, it is a gel stain. It is called Java. It's by General Finishes. I love all their lines of stains. General Finishes, it's where it's at. So this gel stain, I'll apply it in little sections, and then you see me wipe the excess off. Usually I apply anywhere between 1 to 2 coats, depending on how dark I want to go. And I will let this dry overnight before I apply my next step. You really want to make sure your stain is completely dry before you move on to the next step. It's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques Restoration. Let's talk about this product right here. This is Seal Coat by Zinsser. Like the name says, it is a universal sanding sealer. I apply this after I stain and before I apply my top coat. Seal Coat is made of de-waxed blonde shellac and alcohol. The universal refers to virtually any clear top coat will bond to it. Oil or water poly in particular. It does work as a tie coat between incompatible finishes. It makes walnut and cherry woods pop. I use it primarily to eliminate the issue of fisheye occurring. I apply 2 coats and do a hand sand after each coat. This product dries to the touch within 15 minutes. You can reapply after 45 minutes. Very easy product to work with. For more refinishing tips and helpful DIY information, follow me here at Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. Now it's time to apply the last step. This is a top coat. I love oil-based Armor Seal by General Finishes. This is in the sheen gloss. It's one of my favorites right now. It really brings a wood grain to that next level, and I always get a mirror-like finish. So I use what's called a booty method. I tie a nylon booty around a 2-inch foam brush, and I usually apply around 3 coats, and I hand sand in between each coat. Okay, here's the finished look. I'm really excited with how she turned out, especially that top. Look how gorgeous that looks. So it's so important, you guys, to prep correctly, do the products in the right order. I know these projects can take a long time, but the finishing results, I mean, look what you're left with. This is a gorgeous piece of furniture. It's ready to be loved and used again by a new family. I now have her for sale. Check her out on my Facebook business page if you want price and dimensions. Okay everyone, that concludes this tutorial, start to finish, on this antique Chippendale style lowboy table. Did I get that all in there? I think I did. This is Biscuit. We have 2 Chihuahuas here, and this is our older Chihuahua. He's gonna be 9 in March. He's so cold down here. I'm gonna get him back upstairs. He's got a sweater on. He's only 5 pounds, and he's the sweetest little boy imaginable. We rescued him out of Texas many years ago, and I gotta tell you, this dog knows how to pose. Let me throw up a couple of photos before I go here. Anytime I put him in a sweater, in a hat, anything, I put him down on a blanket in front of a piece of furniture, and he literally poses for me. I'm not kidding you. Check out these photos. He's amazing. Biscuit, you're amazing. I love you so much. Yeah. Okay, you guys, so if you have any questions regarding what I did here, any of the methods that I used, any of the products that I used, I will list all the products, if I can remember them all, that I used underneath the description of this video. So you guys can, if you're interested in ordering anything, I think it usually takes you to Amazon, and you can order any of those products. And if you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to share it on any of your social media platforms, please do. I'm always looking to grow my channel here at Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration.
And if you haven't subscribed, you can do that. There is a subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. You need to click on that, but then you also need to go like to my main page, you know, like go to my YouTube face page, you know, like, I don't know what it's called, the profile page or whatever. There's a bell on there. You need to click that bell because when you click that bell, you're subscribing to my channel, but you're also asking to be notified every time I upload a new video. So then that's how you'll know and stay in the loop with everything that's going on here with my furniture projects and what we're doing at the cabin in Maine and what we're doing here at my house. I have so many projects going on. It's gonna be a busy 2024. You don't wanna miss all the things that are going on here. So thank you so much. I will see you guys soon, and Biscuit will see you soon. I always have one of the dogs do a sign off. Biscuit, can you say toodaloo? Can you say toodaloo? We'll say toodaloo, guys. Bye.